As the soul traverses the physical and metaphysical plane, one of the biggest challenges is what is right relationship for our Atman, our true selves, and with the material world around us. The lunar eclipse that took place this morning is in ANURADHA Nakshatra. And so for the next 2 weeks, the eclipse energy is going to be in this nakshatra. So the way that I organize these videos is to tell you about the energy, because they will describe what type of conflict you can anticipate and the intentions behind what interactions you'll have. So I start with that, and then the second part of the video will be a highlight for your sign so that you can check on exactly where in your life and how in your life this might be affecting you. I do recommend that you watch your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. Every person reads differently, so if you're new to my channel, find out which of these works for you. I do these every new moon and full moon. So when the new moon cycles come around and the full moon cycles come around, you know which of the signs in these videos resonates most effectively for you. So ANURADHA is the nakshatra of dedication and devotion. It is symbolized by an archway, as in the goal, the thing that you're moving toward. The purpose behind ANURADHA is dharma, which is right, what is right. And so ANURADHA really looks at right relationship. And it's this period in the soul growth where you're becoming more material, and as you become more material, you start to lose your connection with the divine. And so what ANURADHA is doing is it's looking at how are we tending to our inherent worth, how are we seeing to that, and specifically how we are seeing to that through our relationships. So we're looking at several aspects of right relationship. ANURADHA Nakshatra is in the constellation of Scorpio, and one of the elements of Scorpio is deception. We're looking at what is your relationship with deception, or also what is hidden. So to illustrate, here are 2 ANURADHA natives. The first is an actor who plays in 2 major productions. One of them is Game of Thrones, in which he plays a person who is completely immersed in espionage. So he deals in secrets, and then in Downton Abbey, he's a newspaper man, and the same thing, he deals in secrets. So on a low end of Scorpio, it's a person who deals in worldly secrets. On the high end of Scorpio, another ANURADHA ascendant is C.C. Zane, who was the person selected to write out the Brotherhood of Light, ancient hermetics into student format so that people could access hidden knowledge, occult knowledge. So you see, what is hidden? Is it the secrets of the world that are used to manipulate people and gain power, or are they the secrets of occultism and spirituality to help people assist in humanity? The next element is our relationship with relationships. So what is right relationship when it comes to relationships? The deity associated with ANURADHA is Mitra, and Mitra is a god of the sun, and Mitra exposes things, exposes the path. It's interesting, as in lunar eclipses expose things, right? So you have Mitra, the god of the sun, and Varuna is also associated, and Varuna rules cosmic law. Varuna is also the ruler of the deep and in charge of night. So you have Varuna, you have night, and then you have Mitra, day. And here's the thing with it. Night and day are distinctly different. At dawn, they meet, they merge, and one becomes the other. At dusk, they meet and merge, and one becomes the other. While they have these parts where they merge together, they are distinctly separate. Just like in your friends group, in your relationships groups, with your significant other, with anybody you do dealings with. This is business, this is anything. The people you deal with, you contribute to them and they contribute to you because you are each distinctly different. You bring some attributes to the relationship which enhance each other, but if you all brought the same attributes, it wouldn't really be a relationship, it would just be a continuation of yourself, you see? So you have to be separate, night and day, you have to be separate in order to be distinctive. And in order to have relationships that complement one another, you bring different features. So that's why you separate, develop yourself, and then come together. So while the deity Mitra is a union maker, the ruler of Anuradha is Saturn, boundaries. Another item with Anuradha is right relationship with our experiences. Associated with Anuradha is the lotus flower. And the lotus flower is something that has its roots in the mud and then has a long root, and at the top of the water has a beautiful flower that's seen. Now, if you're looking, you only see the beautiful flower, but the beautiful flower is the result of a lot of work and roots in the mud. The enactment of Saturn. With us as humans moving toward divinity, we need to have our roots in the mud. We need to have our roots in humility, based in humility. And why is that? Well, did you ever grow from an experience that was not difficult? Did you ever have everything going well for you, and then at the end of it, you said, my God, I really am a new person because of that? Not necessarily. It doesn't really work like that. It's the humility, it's the circumstances, the life experience that cause us to be humble, that cause us to feel humility, that enable us to develop the spiritual fortitude to ascend. What is right relationship with devotion? Well, if you merge with a thing, you cannot be devoted to the thing. You cannot actually love the thing because it's part of you. It stops, right? If you merge with the thing you are devoted to, you lose the ability to interact with that thing. Anuradha is the power of devotion and worship, and it's about the coming together. You know, when you have an amazing meditation, or if you work with intuitive gifts, but these different ways that we contact the divine, these different ways that we contact parts of ourselves that aren't worldly parts of ourselves. That's a particular feeling that unless you've done it, you don't know what it's about. So you can't describe it to somebody because they don't know what it's about if they haven't done it. But if you're on this path, the difficulties with experiences, with people, with all of the troubles, when you have that connection, it makes it all worth it. The thing about it, we don't walk every day, all day with that connection. You can step in and out of it. Sometimes you stay with it for longer periods of time than others, but it's not all the time with you. And in a way, you see, that makes it a bit more special because you can connect with it, and then you can come back and do your work here in the material plane with the knowledge of what you really are and with the knowledge of what you can truly access. So that's another way that Anuradha expresses. We individuate from our bliss so that we can interact with and appreciate our bliss. So the lessons of Anuradha are about aspiring toward our inherent worth and doing that through relationship and being devoted to something without losing ourselves in something. And another element of Anuradha is the idea of changing forms. As a soul, we come to the earth and we take a body, we incarnate, because through this incarnation, we have experiences, we have relationships, but we live so that we can grow and learn and evolve. And in the process of that, we have to shake off what our form was when it no longer serves our growth. So we take on a new form. Sometimes that comes in the form of physically a new appearance. Sometimes that comes in a new profession. Sometimes that comes in the form of different personality. Sometimes that comes in the form of different friends, of different groups. But where we are currently reflects what our growth has been to this point. And so when you take on a new form, it may be that you are entering a new phase of life. So whatever's happening, whatever's coming and going, what you do with eclipses is you just let it go. That's what you can do. It's happening. There's nothing you can do to stop it. It's happening. What you can do is control the way that you react to it. You can control how you're going to allow it into your life, whatever's happening, and how you're going to move into, with ease, the next phase. Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This eclipse is taking place in your second house and across the chart in your 8th house. So second house is your house of stuff, earned income, your material possessions, your esteem. And then the 8th house has to do with trauma, past, secrets, transformation, sex, death, money, inheritance, debt, like big money, not earned money. So what is your esteem? Like, so second house is it's yours, like yours yourself, and then 8th house is what you share with others. So here are 3 things to watch for. The first is that you should watch for some sudden change. Specifically watch for it in your second house. So eclipses, like a lunar eclipse, will take things out. So if you've been working on something, or if there has been some change that's pending, if something's not solid, the eclipse will see the end to it. Just gone. Gone without even thinking about it. One day to the next, gone. There's no need to fight. There's no need to try to hold on to it. It's gone. And this will have to do with your esteem, right? Maybe you're going to lose, maybe you're going to lose a job. But remember, nothing ever goes away if something else isn't going to come in its place. So whatever goes, good. Whatever goes, it's because something better is coming, and that space needed cleared to allow it to arrive. Now, with what you share, and with the ANURADHA energy, across the way to the 8th house. 8th house is inheritance, it's debt. So it's like how you feel about your money, how you feel about if you owe people money. Maybe this past year hasn't been so good for you. Maybe it doesn't feel comfortable to accept things from other people. Maybe you feel like that is some detriment on your esteem. It's not. It's money. It's not. 8th house also has to do with the past and with secrets. So in ANURADHA is Scorpio, and Scorpio rules the 8th house. So really all of the elements in that video, they're very much 8th house things. So it's what you share with others, and intimacy, depths, like coming together in a way, right? So specifically look at another issue is secrets. And secrets about your money, about your past, about your trauma, about things that have happened. So second house is the outward expression, whereas 8th house is the inward way that you feel about it. So what's your relationship like with your feelings about how you express outwardly? If that makes sense. So let's break it down. Right. You'll feel like you have certain things or don't have certain things as a result of something you've done right or wrong. Maybe that's the case. 8th house is also about transformation. So in addition to what you can do in a worldly sense, 8th house are matters, hidden matters, occult matters. Again, all through the video, everything Scorpio. You can't always control what happens on the earthly plane. And what you cannot control, 8th house matters. So, moving back. Second house, watch for a sudden change. Also, with your esteem, do you have right relationship with your self-esteem? Finally, what secrets are here? What secrets about your past? What things are in your shadow that still drive you, that you just wish somebody would not say out loud, which you are not dying to say out loud? But anything in your shadow does drive you. And your shadow is like, it's your secrets, it's your secret self. So this can be stuff from your past. This can be ways that you've behaved, different versions of who you have been along the way. But for now, it's time to release those things, because 8th house is also about control, and control over your esteem. Release them and forgive yourself. You're at a point when you're changing forms, and holding on to those things of the past aren't useful to you anymore. You don't need them in the new form that you're taking. So you can let them go. And again, the way that you let them go, forgive yourself. Forgive the version of you when that happened.